Oh, wait, it stopped. Okay. No, it's going now. Now it's going. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So I come from a very Disney-loving family. We sing the songs together, we dance in the living room, and we cuddle up together on the couch while watching our favorite Disney films. So naturally, we wanted to go on a Disney World vacation. So this was my 8-year-old brother Aiden, his first time to Disney World, and we were so excited. So at Disney World, there is this Move It, Shake It street party in which cast members try to encourage adults and kids to sing along and dance along to popular tunes of the summer. And so naturally, like me and my mom were trying to get my little brother to dance just like he would do at home, and he was not having it. This little kid always proud himself on being like an adult. And so, like the other adults, he just stood there watching everyone else not dance, saying that he'd be ridiculous looking if he were to dance and sing. He thought that he was too old for it, my 8-year-old little brother, and I thought that there's something wrong here. And so my purpose of my speech is to say that it's okay to play. It's okay to let loose, and that being an adult shouldn't mean you have to restrict yourself and feel worried about what other people think of you. There's many benefits of playing. For therapeutic reasons, the joy of nostalgia, which is also has some therapeutic benefits, and because age is really just a number. So some therapeutic benefits. So 1 in 5 people, according to the National Alliance of Mental Illness, have mental problems here in the United States. And a way that people can help cope with that is actually through role playing, which is a form of playing acting. Studies have shown that drama has been used in a variety of therapeutic contexts to enhance self-esteem, self-knowledge, explore and process traumatic events, treat interpersonal disengagement, bolster creative problem solving, and treat personal and mood disorders. So that is one way, and places you can go to be able to let loose and play a different part is through all of these. There's LARPing, live action role playing, in which you get to meet a bunch of people dress up in medieval times and just sword fight and do whatever you want to and go on crazy adventures. There's community theater, which is what I do to let loose and explore other sides of me that are very suppressed. And then there's places like Disney World, which encourage adults and kids alike to explore that side of them that's the inner child, to let loose and play on a huge expensive playground. So what Disney's good at is capturing nostalgia, which has therapeutic benefits. So in an experimental setting, nostalgia increases the meaning of life, optimism, self-esteem, social contentedness, and positive effect. So whether you are wanting to recreate your own childhood now as an adult through watching your favorite cartoon that you loved as a child, or maybe you have children now and you want to give them a better childhood than you had, we feel, even as adults, a very protective need over our childhood to preserve something. And that's something that Disney, the company, is very, very great at, and I believe that everyone should tap into. So Disney is capitalizing on nostalgia. Rides like Peter Pan's Flight are still in operation today, and it's the highest demanding ride. The wait times are forever, and it's really hard to get a fast pass on this ride. And why? It's not really an impressive ride when you go on it, but it's a very, very old ride in which old people get to see the characters that they were raised on, Peter Pan and Wendy, and they get to experience this ride in a new way, because Disney, they don't want you to feel old going back and doing the same thing that you did when you were young. They want to preserve that memory, but at the same time make it new and exciting and magical. So they do change these. They make updates, and so that way kids and adults alike, they come in and they experience something that's new. So, age. Kids, adults, what really is it? What are the types of age? Well, there's biological age, which calculates your age based on your biological functioning. There's psychological age, which is cognitive functioning to memorize, learn, and control emotions. And then there's social age, which is the cultural standards of how one should behave or meet certain expectations based on a certain age bracket. Dr. Whitborn, a professor of psychology and brain science at the University of Massachusetts Amherst, she did research on this, and what she found is that none of those things really matter. In order to be successful and have a longer, happy life, act how you feel. Don't feel restricted because you are a certain age or because you wake up with your back hurting and your wrinkles all over the place. If you feel like you're 12, act like you're 12. Don't let anyone tell you different. So dare to be more like a child if you feel like you're like a child. Or if you feel you are an adult and you don't really have that childlike spirit, there's something to learn from acting like a child. Children, they don't limit themselves based on fear and life experiences that have knocked them down. Adults, we definitely have gone through things in our lives that make us feel like we're limited in what we can do and our abilities. Kids don't have that. They just have faith in themselves and faith in the world around them, and we could learn something from that. G.M. Barrie, the author of Peter Pan, says the reason birds fly and we can't is simply because they have perfect faith. For to have faith is to have wings. So if you had perfect faith, if you were a kid and didn't get knocked down too many times and didn't fail, what would you want to do? What would you be doing with your life? That's something that we as adults really should think about is how to relive those dreams and reinvent them. Just go after it. Just do it. So, Walt Disney, he explains this perfectly. He says, the worst of us is not without innocence, although buried deeply it might be. In my work, I try to reach and speak to that innocence, showing it the fun and the joy of living, showing it that laughter is healthy, showing it that the human species, although happily ridiculous at times, is still reaching for the stars. Let's learn from Disney. Let's learn